It's a gorgeous sunny day today in the UK and there's a little bit of a breeze, so I thought it would be the perfect opportunity to wash some of my toppers. I got a message from someone the other day asking me, how do you put on a topper? And obviously she was very, very new to alternative hair, and I couldn't believe that someone didn't know how to do it, but of course we've all been at the beginning of our journey and not known what to do. So that spurred me on to do a video about how you wash your different toppers. So I'll talk briefly about the difference between washing a human hair topper and a synthetic topper, and then I'll just give you a few sort of tips and tricks that I've picked up along the way. So the first thing that's really important that I always forget to do is obviously on the inside of your topper you have clips. Now when I'm not wearing the topper I generally close these and then I stand them on a mannequin head like this. And then sometimes if I'm being really lazy I forget to close the clips and then you get hair tangled in them. But when you're washing the topper, this is really important because you want the hair to tangle as little as possible. So the very first thing that you need to do is to make sure that all of your clips are closed. If you're washing a human hair topper, you're going to need some good quality shampoo. Most people tend to go for something that's organic and doesn't have a lot of chemicals in it. And it's up to you really how much you spend. You could wash it with normal shampoo, I don't think it's going to ruin it, but because you've probably spent quite a lot of money on a human hair topper, you want to keep it in good condition for as long as possible, so it's worth getting a decent shampoo. That being said, I sometimes use my daughter's baby shampoo because that is already organic, it's already got loads of the nasties taken out. Hello. As I was saying, a good quality shampoo and conditioner. As I said, I sometimes use my daughter's baby shampoo, and then I tend to use a sort of deep conditioner. There's loads of different brands. I've also just ordered some Coco and Eve deep conditioning mask, so I'll be doing a review of that soon. The main things that I would say about when you're washing a human hair piece is when you're doing the shampoo, you know, if you're washing your own hair, you tend to scrub it and kind of zhuzh it. You don't want to do that with a human hair topper. You want to be really gentle. You want to kind of massage it into the hair, and you can get shampoo on the cap. You just need to be really gentle because you don't want the hair to tangle unnecessarily, especially if it's a longer piece. And then I tend to rinse the shampoo off either under the running tap or under the shower, so you're holding, in fact I can show you, so I would be holding it like this so that the hair is hanging down and the water's just falling down it. If you have it in a bowl of water and the hair's all floating, there's more chance that it could all get tangled up. So what I do is, first of all, I wet the hair under the running tap, then I do the shampoo, which you could just kind of put it on like this and then massage, but don't do that. And then once I've done the shampoo, again, rinse it really thoroughly under the shower or the tap. Make sure you don't use really hot water. I tend to use kind of lukewarm water, but definitely not hot. And then once you've washed off your shampoo, you can just really gently wring out the hair, again, avoiding the tangles. The most important thing with conditioner is you do not want to get the conditioner on the cap near the knots, because with some pieces the conditioner can weaken the knots and then you could ruin your piece. So what I tend to do is turn the topper like this so it's inside out and hold this bit, and then I just spread the conditioner on the sort of lengths and the ends, and then I usually just lay it in the basin to just soak for a bit and just moisturise. And then make sure you've washed your hands so that you haven't got any conditioner left on your hands, and then once you've left it to soak, you could turn it back up like this and give it a really thorough rinse. Again, with your hair on your head, when you're drying your hair with a towel, I tend to, again, do this, which you want to avoid, because when the hair is wet, it can get really tangled and matted. So I tend to just give it a really gentle squeeze like this, and then I lay it flat on a towel and I dab so that it's not dripping. And then for drying, so I think I showed you this before, this is what I store my toppers on, but this is what I dry them on, because it's got lots of space for the air to get into the cap. You're not going to get a sort of manky, horrible cap that's not going to dry, and this just allows the air to move through it. I've also got one of these, which is great because you can hang it. So I sometimes hang this in my bathroom. I'm thinking possibly today, if it's not too windy, I might hang this on my washing line. The other thing that some people do, which I don't know why I don't like the idea of this, but they peg. I feel like the cap is very precious and I don't want to put pegs on it, but you could do that, or some kind of clip, and then I just hang it and air dry it. And then I don't brush it until it's almost completely dry, because when you brush human hair when it's wet, it can get, it's fragile and it can get damaged more easily. I've given you some top tips on how to wash your human hair topper, and now I'm going to talk about what you do with a synthetic topper, because that's quite different. So to wash your synthetic topper, you need proper shampoo and conditioner that is made for synthetic wigs. This is the brand I use. It's called T-Range. So I've got the Fibre hair shampoo and the Fibre hair softening conditioner, and I've also got the spraying conditioner that you can spray when the piece is dry. I just bought this brand to try because a couple of people have recommended it. I like the smell. I think it does a good job. It's medium price, you know, it's not mega expensive. It's not dirt cheap. So I would recommend it, but I have no affiliation to the brand. It was just one that I tried. There are different makes that you can use. So the way that you use the shampoo is quite similar in terms of rinsing it under the tap and massaging the shampoo into the hair. The way that you use the conditioner is slightly different. So where I said with human hair that you shouldn't leave it soaking in a bowl of water, you do the opposite with synthetic. So you fill up the sink or a bowl or a bucket with some, again, lukewarm water, and then you put a cap full of the conditioner in, and then you soak your synthetic piece in that for a couple of minutes, and then you take it out and rinse it. Again, the same applies with drying. I would use that same kind of open stand. In theory, your synthetic piece should dry more quickly than your human hair piece, but it depends. And also something I would say is a lot of synthetic pieces don't like heat. So don't leave it in the sun, don't leave it in an airing cupboard, you know, don't leave it where it's going to get damaged. And with a synthetic, you won't need to heat style it because it should just spring back into its original form. This is not including the HD, is it called HD? Synthetics, because there are some that you can heat style. I'm talking about your bog standard, you're not supposed to put heat on them synthetics. The other thing that I would say, if you have a longer piece and it's curly and you want to keep those curls really buoyant, if you leave it just hanging, the weight of the water is going to pull on the curls and they're going to drop. So what you can do is almost like get a hairnet and kind of lift the curls up so they're not just hanging like this. You know, kind of scrunch them up, which is a really rubbish explanation, and I'll probably do another video where I demonstrate that. but that's just another thing to consider. I hope this has been helpful for beginners. I was thinking, I'm going to stop. I have just washed my Uni Wigs Amber human hair topper. I'm just going to show you what it looks like at the moment. So it is still quite wet and it is dripping a little bit, so I probably will just get the towel on the ends, but I'm going to leave her initially to dry like this. And then what I'll probably do is, because I want to, she's got a fringe which I want to blow dry, so what I'll probably do is let her dry till she's about 80% dry, and then I might use little spritz of water just to blow dry her. And then I'm going to leave the rest of the hair to air dry because I want to see what it looks like, because this is the first time I've washed this piece. And then once she's air dried, then I'll style her. I've been on a couple of Facebook groups where people have talked about some of Uni Wigs human hair pieces, and they've said that after the sort of first wash or two that the hair isn't as nice. When I first received this piece, the hair felt absolutely gorgeous, soft as butter. So I'm quite keen to see what it feels like after it's had a wash, and whether or not this is true, or it's just that some people have had a bad experience, or perhaps they haven't taken care of the piece or washed it with the right things. She's had a fairly deep condition, so I left the conditioner on the ends for about 10 minutes. So I'm hoping she'll continue to be nice and soft and smooth.